We open on a foggy, moonlit night. A werewolf watches from the parapet of a castle as headlights drive by in the distance. He curses the oncoming car, and that is where our story begins. Welcome to Mysteries in the Machine.
You can follow this podcast's socials at Mysteries in the Machine Pod on Instagram. You can send a message to our email, mysteriesinthemachinepod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Ethan, on Instagram and Threads at ethan.t.hewlin. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram.
Hey yo, meddling kids! We are here for another episode of Mysteries in the Machine. Hey yo, hey yo.
What's up, Charlie?
I'm just like going off to.
Yeah, you're in a silly, goofy mood today? Is that what's happening?
I'm in a silly good. Listen, this episode title. What is this episode title? This is like, why?
There's no galloping at all, and I don't.
No, there is
no. And they consider 3 to be a gaggle. All right, sure.
What defines a gaggle? Gaggle.
A gaggle's a group of geese. So, like, I don't know.
I always hear flock. Okay, I never actually knew what that was. That okay.
That's fair. I mean, they are birds, so that also would work.
I love how, like, the thing that comes up on Google from Merriam-Webster, like, there's an example, and it's like a gaggle of reporters and photographers. I'm like, okay, sure. Because it's a group, an aggregation, a cluster lacking organization. I feel like they're very organized in this episode, so I don't think they're a gaggle.
No, it's more of a group of galloping ghosts than a gaggle.
Oh, let's see. Cambridge Dictionary says a group of silly or noisy people. Noisy or silly people. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, we have journalists? What the fuck?
Why does the dictionary hate jouralists?
Why does it hate journalists? Sorry,
Sam, I'm sorry.
You've been canceled by the dictionary. The dictionary thinks you're too silly.
A silly, goofy guy.
He's a silly goose. Our buddy Sam from.
Indeed. We're gonna have to have him on at some point because
it's required.
All the other Deus Ex Media people are gonna be here at some point.
At some point. I mean, it's a requirement. You're my friend. Come on my podcast, okay?
Obviously.
Yeah, that's it. If you hear it right now, you're required, okay? If you hear it and you're my friend, required.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's bound to happen.
Okay. So yeah, a gaggle of galloping ghosts. This episode is the one that I always confuse with Hassel and the Castle.
That's fair.
Because it like. I mean, they open slightly differently, but it's still like, there's a castle, there is a bunch of shenanigans within a castle, and the person is revealed to just be is someone we don't know.
Yep.
Specifically, who wants a treasure that is hidden somewhere in the castle. Yeah,
I was going to say, they end very similarly, like, at the very least.
It's not exactly the same ghosts, because the other one is just sheet ghosts. This one, it's like vampire, werewolf, and Frankenstein, because I guess Frankenstein's monster is like...
Okay, here's the thing. You've unleashed something you didn't know you were going to unleash today, because I think we're going to come full circle on Frankenstein and his monster, because in the novel... Frankenstein's monster refers to Dr. Frankenstein as father, therefore also making him a Frankenstein.
I mean, you're right. You're right, and you should say it. Frankenstein's monster is, in fact, the doctor's, like, son, the Dr. Frankenstein's son. He created him. Therefore, also a Frankenstein. But, I don't know, it's the fact that, like, because of, like, universal monsters and shit, you can talk about your thing, Ethan, because I'm gonna get into this little preamble about how, like, vampires are, like, a thing, werewolves are, like, a thing, and then, like, Frankenstein's monster, even though it's a singular like person has become like there's many of them or whatever.
Yes.
Like all over the place.
The thing about werewolves, right? But specifically the American iteration of werewolves and the things we associate with them, that is unique to the original Wolfman movie that came out in the 40s.
Yeah.
Like them being hurt by silver and like transforming under the light of the full moon. Like they do exist in like folktales and stuff like that, but they don't always have all of those things together. But the way that we treat them now in fiction is more attributed to that movie and the screenwriter of that movie, who was also a prisoner of the Holocaust during World War II.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Somehow we got from werewolves to the Holocaust, and I did not expect that.
Well, we don't have to stay there.
It's true. I just was not expecting it.
Yeah.
No, werewolves, like, I mean, I need to rewatch the Overly Sarcastic Productions video, but like, my goodness, they're just like not a cohesive thing in folklore. Yeah, like what you said, the American Monster movie kind of invented them to be what they are. They're just werewolf. They're like, leave them alone. They're wolves. Honestly, like the vampire's kind of the precursor to the werewolf, like in some ways. Like, I mean, the vampires, you see them now.
Yeah.
Like Dracula could turn into a wolf. Did you know that?
I haven't read the book in quite some time, but yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because he could turn into like too much fucking shit. Like,
well, like
the transforming into animals.
Yeah, the pop culture knowledge says he can turn into a bat or like Mist.
Yeah, no, Mist is also a big one, but also there's like he can turn into either a wolf or a big dog, and I think a few other things as well. But yeah, no, just all of these monsters have like so much more going on.
Well, and what's funny,
I can't get into that.
Sorry, what's funny is that so Bela Lugosi, who played Dracula, like the first person to play Dracula on screen, and the actor of the Wolfman, Lonnie Chaney Jr., they have both played Dracula before. So when you said vampires are the precursor to werewolves, I'm like, you're right in multiple ways.
Kind of in a way. Like, yeah, literally, what I did here is I kind of just like open up the werewolf page on Wikipedia because that's what I do when I tend to like want to look at like folklore things in a broad sense, and it literally has stuff about vampires on here too, and I'm like, well, you know, Also, like, did you know that there's many other types of were creature? There's like were tigers, were hyenas, were jaguars.
At least in D&D, there are many kinds of were creatures.
I mean, yeah, were tigers. Ayo.
That's for like 4 people, but yeah.
That's fine. Maybe they'll listen. I know Kayla does.
Kayla does, at least. She'll pick up on that. It was her character that was bitten, after all.
Yeah, turned into a were tiger for like a couple sessions.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about this gaggle of galloping ghosts. Gaggle also just makes me think of Giggle, so that's why I'm just like, I'm in a scoop.
There you go.
There we go, bringing it back to the beginning. So I also didn't realize that this was going to be the first Wolfman we saw in the show. I thought it was the other one, because there's literally an episode about a werewolf. Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Werewolf? It's like, I think technically season 2 of Where Are You?
Yeah, but they don't really differentiate between them very well because they're all episodic. There's no like overarching storylines at all.
No, there isn't. All right, so our gang is just like hanging out. They're just like, we're gonna go sightseeing to this old castle because apparently we're in a horror movie today. Like, why?
Yeah, we are. We are.
Usually they go and do normal teenager things, but today they were just like, let's be chaotic and just invite the spookiness into
what I think they did is they all collectively got high off of Shaggy's weed and were like, you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna go do this.
They were like, you know what? Let's go see some ghosts, guys. Like, today is the day that we find a real ghost.
And they come by, I'm just gonna say a fortune teller.
Yeah, we can see fortune teller because I was gonna go into how they once again they're kind of using a racial slur here. It's a thing that is also complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some Romani people consider it to be a slur, some don't. Like the ones who were on those TV shows, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, to cover our bases, we're just gonna say fortune teller and not get into that.
But yeah, she is kind of creepy. Do you see those red eyes?
Yeah,
do you see
like
those terrifying red eyes this woman has?
Yeah, this is the woman who actually has like something like her eyes don't look like part of her face.
No,
There's actual definition there. They put effort into animating her eyes.
Also, is this like our first lady disguise?
It might be.
We still haven't had a lady villain, but this is our first like
true.
disguise that is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a man doing it.
And a relatively convincing voice too.
Yeah.
Though they probably got 2 different actors to do that.
Oh no, they did. They got June Foray is seller.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Scooby Doo. Yeah,
she probably would be. Like, it's not
That's
unusual.
Where I know her voice from. Okay, I was like, definitely Scooby Doo meets the Boo Brothers.
Of course,
she's the witch in like the opening sequence of that movie. Who has
I have
nothing
not seen
to do
it,
with
but
anything else. She's literally just there to be like, waha! I'm an evil witch, but I'm scared of the Boo Brothers or something. It's kind of a song. I don't know. Most of that movie is literally a trip. And then the other episode that she's in is one of our Batman crossovers, the Dynamic Scooby-Doo Affair.
Yes. Oh, listeners, we've got something special lined up for that whenever we get there. Don't you worry.
Like next year.
Yeah, whenever that happens.
In some amount of time. Yeah, when do we even get like a lady? I'm now just wondering.
No.
I've never thought of this before. How have I never thought of this?
No idea. Oh man,
God, I hate myself. And
it's fine.
Sometimes I'm just like, wow, Scooby-Doo is great, and then I'm just like, oh right, it is a product of its time.
It definitely is.
Wait, we covered it in episode 2.
In episode 2.
Clue for Scooby-Doo. We
had the captain's wife.
The captain's wife. 2nd episode. She was an accomplice, but she was not the mastermind.
She was not the mastermind, but she was part of it. Yeah,
she was part.
Though honestly, we supported them. So like, is she really a villain at that point?
Technically, by Scooby-Doo standards, she is. By my standards, they said eat the rich, so I don't really care.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like, that counts. But we still have yet to unmask a woman in the show.
We'll see if that happens throughout any of Where Are You. I don't think it does.
I don't think it does. Wow. Okay.
But we will get there when we get there.
But we gotta love this man's drag disguise here.
Yeah, because it makes me wonder, like, I know that it's revealed to be, like, you know, he's good with disguises and all that stuff, but, like...
He's an actor.
Yes. But what would his drag persona be? That's the question we have to ask ourselves.
Okay, so his real name is Big Bob Oakley.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also just, like, a name that certainly
That's a name. That's a name.
Sure is. But all of your personas are, like... You know, again, Universal Monsters is, like, the theme today.
Yeah, it is.
What do we go with for a drag name for you? We're gonna figure this out.
Frankie Stein. Let's just throw that out there.
That is a Monster High doll!
Wait, what?
That is a Monster High doll!
Okay, Charlie, I was not the target audience for that. How do you expect me to know this?
We just get out my Monster High Letterman jacket.
Charlie.
It's right over there in the back.
You have several jackets back there.
I do, in fact, but I found a Monster High Letterman at Hot Topic.
Of course you did. I'm not surprised by that in the slightest.
And I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, Frankie Stein, the drag queen.
Hey, there's no reason why the drag persona can't be named after something else.
You're right. I just think it's hilarious that you, like, exact name. Just rip that. I'm like,
because I think because you take Frankenstein, right? You separate, Frankenstein, female version of Frankie, done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's how you make a Monster High character as well.
Oh my god. Well, I'm not original. Love that for me.
If the drag persona was named after a werewolf, would it be Claudine Wolf? Apparently it would be. That's also a Monster High character.
Okay.
Claudine, like claws.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Her brother is Claude, I think.
That must be so confusing for their parents. It's like people who name all their kids beginning with the same letter of the alphabet.
Yeah. I don't know, man. People are just wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about
we haven't even gotten
this episode. Listen, it's a wacky, silly time today. That's what we're having. What is this fortune teller lady here to do? She's tell them, hey, don't go into the spooky, creepy castle, because once again, we're in a horror movie today.
Yep, we are.
Fully entered a horror movie. Don't go there. And they're just like, whatever.
Whatever, old lady. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever, Frankie. What do you know?
Also, what do they say about this castle? That it was like taken like fully from Transylvania and like transplanted here?
Basically, they took it apart in Transylvania, took it over to the States, and put it back together.
Yeah. Interesting. Also, I don't know. I feel like this makes sense that the fortune teller lady, like, it's from Transylvania, which is from Romania.
Yes.
And we have this person playing a Romani person?
Well, disguised as, yes.
Yeah. I don't know. My brain is just like, is this connected somehow? But
I don't think the writers intended that.
I don't think they did.
Speaking as a white man, probably not.
Probably not, but that's what my brain connected it to, and I was just like, interesting. Okay, so we're coming up on Franken Castle. What are we gonna do?
Well, though, in the Wolfman movie from the 40s, the werewolf who bit the titular character, his mother's in that movie, and she's a fortune teller. So
there you go.
So werewolves and Romani people are very closely linked, at least in the modern interpretation.
Again, it makes sense. Yeah, literally this castle though, we got the lightning striking, we have the drawbridge opening on its own. Like, don't go inside. They go inside. Yep. Vampire guy is like, get the fuck out. And then they all run away, except Daphne, who's stuck. Because that's how you get sucked into the plot, is you gotta get Daphne to get trapped.
Danger-prone Daphne, doing what she does.
Yeah, that's what she does. We love her.
Well, I mean, to her credit, some people, so the fight or flight instinct, there's actually a third one, freeze. So I think Daphne freezes when she's scared, and that's why she didn't go.
I'm sorry, my brain just connected this to Avatar for a second, and I was just like, there's the positive Jing when you're attacking, and the negative Jing when you're retreating, and then there's neutral Jing where you do nothing, and I'm like, wait, that's just fight or flight.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Anyway, This is my brain. So
Daphne gets chased by Frankenstein.
Yeah, because the vampire is gone and now it's Frankenstein. This guy, how does he do the costume changes within 5 seconds of each other?
Okay, I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's rip-off clothing, right? Like, I'm sure you've seen it for... I know, it's so much, but it's at least believable. And I think they're all like, at least the heads are all like masks and gloves and things like that. So
I assume there can't be makeup involved.
No, that would take way too much time.
Yeah, I mean, you're an actor, but like you need a whole like help out.
Well, yeah, because like the thing about stage makeup is it can take hours, especially stuff that's that detailed.
Yeah. So Frankenstein's after her, but we got to get the drawbridge open. Shaggy and Scooby, like, they have to get over there on a rope. Avoiding crocodiles, because there's a moat, too. Like, that's why there's a drawbridge. There's a whole moat of crocodiles.
It's a castle! They also got the crocodile from Peter Pan, apparently. Because it's emoting. Like, crocodiles don't really emote. At least not that I'm aware of.
But this is Scooby-Doo world, where, like, animals can, in fact, emote.
That's true. At least Scooby can.
Yep. So they got the drawbridge is stuck. They got to pull the thing out so they can unlock it, and then oh look, the werewolf is right behind Shaggy.
Pull the lever, Shaggy.
It back in. Shaggy's like, wait, that's not Scooby. Ah, here, can you hold this? Runs away.
Yep. And Shaggy runs away, and Scooby trips the werewolf
because he hides in a suit of armor. We love that.
Sure. We're just gonna not question that. At least I'm not.
We're not gonna question how Scooby on his hind legs can stand in a suit of armor.
Just not gonna question it. It will make my brain hurt.
So they both hide in a random room that has a piano. Shaggy's in the curtains, and guess what?
It's your favorite. It's your favorite.
It's my favorite bit. He does the ventriloquism. He's like, oh, I'm in the suit of armor. I'm in that other suit of armor. I'm in the piano.
Which, why would he do that? He told Scooby to hide in there. He's putting him in danger.
Because he knows Scooby has plot armor.
I mean, so does he.
Exactly. But, Scooby's the main character. Obviously has. We all know it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna... He's just like, no, I know my life. They're not gonna kill the dog.
It was also a choice to make the werewolf purple.
He can't have a human skin tone.
Apparently.
We can't do that. Frankenstein's green, so werewolf purple. What color?
The vampire's white, just pale white.
Okay, yeah. I was either he's got to be a light blue or a white or something.
Pretty sure he's just white.
Yeah. So we actually trap the werewolf
for a little bit,
but it's the fact that they do it and then they run away. They're just ha, we got you. Bye. Get the fuck out.
I wouldn't stick around, so I don't blame him at all.
It's just interesting that we trapped so early on in the
episode. Yeah, we did.
And then he gets caught in a chandelier. Shaggy just drops the chandelier on him. And Scooby has to help Shaggy down because now he's on the ceiling.
This is the second Emperor's New Groove parallel that I'm seeing in this.
Since Scooby-Doo's the blueprint.
It is indeed the blueprint. So we jump cut over to Fred and Velma, who are looking around in the dining room.
Mm-hmm. There's a fire on. That's a hazard.
That's a well. I mean, it's made of rocks.
This is how you know it's the fortune teller because the vampire has the same exact eyes. He's got the red eyes.
Yeah, he does. Also, the bat's revealed to be a bat on a wire. Are there just wires everywhere?
I want to know how he did the disappearing thing, though.
That's true. Because, he swooshes his cape and then cross-dissolves into a bat.
Unless we're doing some of the Bluestone the Gray shit. Bluestone the Great? That's what he was called in the other episode.
Yeah.
Where it's it's mirrors and some weird, thing going on there where it's a film or something, and he wasn't actually in that spot because he's in 5 different areas of this castle at the same time.
Right.
Some of these can't actually be him.
I know. He's got to have multiple people with him. That's what I thought when I was watching this earlier.
I mean, we see it later in the lab thing.
Yeah.
It's not even actually the Frankenstein under the sheet. It's a thing that's just the shape of the Frankenstein, which is so funny.
Sure. But right now,
that's how you get it.
Yeah, but right now Velma is crawling around on the floor, bonks her head on the table, and knocks her glasses off.
And then she gets into a secret passage. Fred is not watching her, so he has no idea where she went. Out of sight, just gone. And she has no idea where she's going to.
Well, we've established Velma's brain cells live in her glasses, so...
They do, in fact. Oh my god. I'm glad we had some spare brain cells for her.
Yep, Shaggy's got the spare brain cells. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay, so now Shaggy and Scooby are in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Hiding
in the oven, of all places.
I mean, why not? It's a place to hide.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't hide in the refrigerator. But they go
or
in
the
there.
Pantry.
True. What's in the refrigerator? We gotta go over this meal menu.
Yep, we got pickled vampire wings, werewolf snacks, and fried moonbeams.
I'm so confused.
Okay, Charlie, I think this is this old Big Bob committing to the bit right here. I think is
it's
what this
committing
is.
to the bit, but I'm confused on how. Because who's eating the vampire wings? Is the vampire eating his own wings?
Maybe.
The werewolf snacks make sense. Who's eating the fried moonbeams? Is that also for the werewolf?
Or is that there's nothing for Frankenstein? There's nothing for Frankenstein. He deserves better.
That's why I'm just, this is so funny and so weird, and I'm confused. But yeah, he's committing like too hard, but in a way that I'm just like, sir, you could have done better.
Yeah, he could have.
Feed Mr. Frankenstein. He deserves love.
He does.
So Scooby checks in the pantry for some actual food, because that's...
Speaking of Frankenstein.
Yeah. Look, there he is. There's the snack you wanted. Frankenstein.
Listen.
What? Didn't you want that?
I mean, Dr. Frankenstein got all the body parts that he wanted. Just saying.
I mean, true. You want this big tall man?
You know what they say about tall guys.
Ay.
I will let the listener's imagination fill that gap.
And proportionally, it makes sense. So we go back to Velma, who, I think she's the dungeon, maybe?
Yeah.
There's a skeleton.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a torture chamber, is what Shaggy is.
Yeah. But Velma thinks it's a playroom. Why does she think?
Once again, she has no brain cells. I love her.
She's great. And then she runs face first into a barrel.
She's so silly.
She's just a silly little gal. Because all her brain cells are gone.
Yep. And then what? Scooby goes over to the barrel and is like, "Hey, look, Scooby snacks." She's just throwing Scooby snacks to him.
I think she heard him and is like, "Hey, come over here."
That's still just like, "Hey, look, free Scooby snacks. I want some." This isn't ominous whatsoever.
No, not even a little bit.
But they help her out. Shaggy has an extra pair of her glasses for her. Why has this never come up before?
Hey, you and I both wear glasses, right? Those probably aren't Velma's current prescription.
True.
At least with my glasses. I just keep the last ones that I had, which usually isn't as strong of a prescription.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't keep the last ones that I had. I broke.
That's unfortunate.
Fun times.
But what I'm saying is your backup glasses, they're not like the same strength.
Except hers look exactly the same. It would have been so funny though if her backup glasses like looked wild and different.
Yeah, I still think the animators wanted to do that.
I mean, fair, but like that's just something that I would personally do. Is be like, we're gonna have like the wackiest shit on Velma for no reason this episode because she has the backup glasses.
Why not? Well, now Velma's got her brain cells back, so the universe is corrected again.
Yep. She's got her brain cells. And hey, look!
Hooray!
We found her! Yay! And look, who's ominously coming towards us as we're trying to free her from this basement.
It's the vampire!
It's just the way that Scooby-Doo villains just kind of like walk towards you with no dialogue whatsoever. They're looking menacingly at you like, and...
Haven't we established that all Scooby-Doo villains were theater kids at some point in their life?
Seriously, this is the most theater kid drama. I mean, we already know this guy's an actor.
Right.
Like, so, like, even more theater kid.
Right.
Oh yeah, so Daphne got stuck in this, like, basement because a guy chased her and locked the door.
Pretty sure it was the Frankenstein that chased her in there.
Yeah. I mean, it was the Frankenstein who was chasing her all over the place. He probably didn't change costumes to chase her.
Not worth
into
it.
There. So
Scooby-Doo pulls a Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back. Or I guess it's the other way around. George Lucas stole from Scooby-Doo in addition to Dune and a bunch of other stuff, apparently.
Hey.
Because he takes out the vampire's legs and drags him into the pit where they found Daphne.
What's up with this? Scooby is playing the hero again? He just like goes up
sometimes.
To this guy?
He does it sometimes.
Does. I mean, it's still uncharacteristic for like what we know of like the broad Scooby-Doo media.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he has like his moments of heroism, and he's just like, I'm gonna tie you up.
Mm-hmm.
So we freed Daphne, and we shoved this guy in there. Bye!
And they go into the secret tunnel.
Yep, it's a dark tunnel. Why aren't they making out?
I don't know.
Velma and Daphne.
Probably because Scooby and Shaggy are there.
That's fine. Who cares?
Some people want to make out in private.
Yeah, they all live in a van together.
This is true.
So we have an ominous glowing door at the end of the tunnel, and then we lose Shaggy and Scooby. But we find Fred.
Well, there you go.
So it's fine.
Yeah. We lost somebody, we found somebody. It's alright. It all evens out in the end.
That's just how it happens. You lose someone, and then you find someone, and then for some reason they have a clue.
Yeah, because Daphne found it. Daphne found a message on the wall in the dungeon.
And it says, "I have fooled them all. I may perish, but I'll be as rich as King Tut." Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Treasure thing happening.
Treasure.
Shut the fuck.
Listen, he didn't say it, so somebody has to.
Yeah. And then Velma has to remind us, King Tut was an Egyptian. Therefore, the treasure was buried with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. And now we go to our silly goofy guys. They're in a mad scientist rumpus room, is what Shaggy calls it.
That's what Shaggy calls it, but it's just a lab of a bunch of weird equipment.
Yep, it's literally a mad scientist lab. And here we have the iconic fake monster. I mean, wouldn't you do this if you thought the monster was right there?
Yeah, just squirt him with water. Why not?
Like, hey, I found a... And Frankenstein must be... prank him.
Yep. And then he waterboards Scooby.
Yep, it goes directly into Scooby, who also has the sheet over him. And then Scooby picks something up and redirects the water, so it's on Shaggy's shenanigans.
Sure, water works like that. Why not?
Exactly. Didn't you know?
Obviously. And Shaggy and Scooby mix up some random chemicals, which is definitely a smart thing to do.
Hey, he's a jock, he's not a scientist.
This is true. A jock and a stoner. It's a rare combination.
I mean, that's what Shaggy is and always will be, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
So, we mixed up a bomb, maybe? Of some kind?
Yeah, or like mustard gas or something.
Yeah, the werewolf, like, comes in or tries to, and then they, like, toss the thing at him, and he goes away. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, no, we're not worried about that anymore. That's fine.
Nope.
The fact that they're just, like, playing in here.
They're just fucking around.
Are we solving a mystery? Are we, like, chilling in an abandoned castle? Where is the tour guide? I thought this was a historical site or something.
The caretaker's not there. Like they said that at the beginning of the episode.
That's fair. I'm just like, it's just funny.
So they wouldn't have even gone in if Daphne hadn't gotten kidnapped.
So maybe some of this stuff was, like, there specifically for the castle, though?
Yeah.
Like, what if the food in the fridge was actually, like, already there? What if that wasn't our buddy Big Bob?
That's entirely possible. Entirely possible.
And, like, the fake Franken monster that the sheet thing goes over. Maybe that was also, like, part of the mad scientist.
Probably. Like, I think this room they're in is just a room with just props in it.
Yeah.
That's it.
They did mix some chemicals.
They did.
Probably not safe.
No idea what they were, but they were chemicals.
Yeah, they wanted to turn werewolves into pussycats.
Hey, if they want to join a band, that's on them. As long as Josie accepts them.
And then Scooby is pretending to be the Frankenstein. Shaggy's gonna operate, and then guess what? The real Frankenstein appears. While Scooby is, like, strapped to the table.
Yep.
We didn't even see him get strapped. He just, like,
we didn't.
And he's just strapped.
Like, we don't really talk about animation errors that often, but that's definitely one.
Yeah. So Frankenstein just, like, pushes the table. Shaggy's, like, running away from it. Then he jumps onto it, and then we're just going. We're just going until we use the sheet to stop.
Yes, because that definitely works.
It's a parachute, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank goodness they stopped before they went down the stairs.
Yeah, not me attempting to recreate the scene by jumping off of my stairs in my childhood home with a bedsheet over my head.
Ethan!
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Why would you do this?
Because I was a stupid child.
I feel like I would be more likely to recreate the one in Home Alone I mean, I don't have stairs that go in that direction, but like if I did, you know, like
With
the stairs
the paint
that go.
cans, or
No, just like he goes like down his sled down the stairs through the
and
front
out the
door.
door. Yeah,
I feel like I'd be likely to do that if I had stairs placed in that exact spot. Like why wouldn't you?
Makes sense.
All right, the gang has met up, and we have to go down to the crypt.
Great.
Yay!
Scooby pretends to be sick. He doesn't want to go. And we don't actually need Scooby Snack motivation this time because Shaggy's like, well, there's 3 ghosts around here. I'd hate to be alone if they showed up.
It's worse than just one ghost, right?
That's true.
I mean, they're all the same person, but like we don't know.
No. Well, actually, I'm not convinced they are the same person.
I mean, you're not. It could be. Like I said, I feel like there might be some smoke and mirrors going on here.
Yeah.
Or some of it's fake. Maybe some of them are dummies. Maybe
or
one's
projections.
a robot. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
This guy's a theater man. He could do whatever he wants.
That's true.
Maybe he just has some traps.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna just open a fucking coffin.
Yeah, because that's a great plan.
It just says Franken on it.
Yep. Doesn't give a first name, just Franken.
1668. Is that when he was birthed? When he died?
Unclear.
Nothing. What is happening? I mean, it's the same as the clue.
Yeah, it is. So we trap the monster by clotheslining him with a tapestry.
The fact that they couldn't just, like, shut the stone lid back on him.
Yeah.
Like, he's sitting up. You could just, like, push it back the other way, and it would, like, hit him in the chest, and he'd be like, ugh!
Yeah.
And then you caught him.
Yeah. So he jumps back in the coffin. And apparently there's another secret passageway because he's gone.
Yep. It works.
It does.
Wouldn't you have a secret passageway in a coffin?
Obviously. If I lived in a house like this, of course.
But what is left behind?
A gold earring and a couple of diamonds, as well as a piece of tapestry.
But the earring, it looks very similar to one we seen earlier. We gotta go check that lady out again. I wonder.
And for all the inconsistencies that have been in these Scooby-Doo episodes, they do only have her having one earring.
You know, they did one thing right.
They did.
So they go back to see her, and she's like, "Oh, how was your visit to the castle?" And they're like, "How was your visit to the castle? Uno reverse." It's like, "What? Nah, I don't do that, bro. You're sitting on the tapestry."
He's not slick.
Nope. Scooby just, like, takes it out from under the fortune teller's butt. Oh, the voice changes. The jig is up.
Yep.
He's running away.
Scooby chases after him, rips away the tapestry. He takes a little spill. And Deus Ex Machina, the sheriff's here.
I mean, the caretaker reported there was something going on, so makes sense.
Oh, the timing more than anything else makes it more of a Deus Ex Machina.
Fair. Well, so it's this guy who we've never met before. He exists.
Yep.
Big Bob.
Big Bob Oakley, aka the actor.
I think that's so funny.
Now, how big is Big Bob, though?
I mean, he played Frankenstein, and we already said.
That's true.
We implied at least what that might mean. So I'd say he's pretty big. So we finish off this episode by having some sandwiches.
Wait, no. Before we get there, this is our first instance of a villain after they are unmasked saying, yes, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids. Or very close to that. He doesn't say that exactly, but it's
blasted kids and their dog.
This is the first time that's ever happened.
All right. I didn't realize this. This is important. Iconic. Beautiful. Yeah, so we have some sandwiches. There is a vampire bat, but hey, look, it's the one on the string. It doesn't steal their sandwiches. Also,
Shaggy stacks a sandwich like a deck of cards.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he do this?
Just more cartoon physics.
This definitely happens in multiple episodes as well, so...
I know. It's still cartoon physics.
Hey, Ethan.
Yeah.
It's terror time again.
All right. Terror time trivia. Let's get into it.
So yes, you mentioned it's the debut of almost those meddling kids, but
yes,
it's yes, and I'd have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those blasted kids and their dog.
This is one of the few episodes where there were no traps made by Fred, but Scooby and Shaggy with mixed success.
They made 2
but
of them.
Yeah.
This is not the second episode.
This is like Shaggy's the 3rd or 4th episode where Shaggy's done this. Yeah.
It's happened often.
Yeah.
It's my favorite bit.
Scooby will randomly show courage in a crisis, but in this episode he takes 2 monsters, one in a very unconvincing disguise with disguise being used.
Yeah, he does the werewolf and then the fortune teller.
Yeah. The gang captures Oakley 2 times, once as the werewolf.
They do.
And once as the vampire, but they run away instead of unmasking him.
Yeah,
sure.
that did happen. I mean, we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't trap time. It wasn't trap time. We hadn't figured out the mystery.
No,
we didn't need to trap yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. That's the werewolf is in the episode like 3 times, but the gang only.
Yeah. Well, Shaggy and Scooby didn't see him in the lab. They just threw something behind him and he ran away. So.
Huh.
First episode to have more than 1 villain, although there technically is 1, since all 3 monster disguises weren't by the same person. Cool.
The what is this word? The Turner print.
I don't know. Let me Google it.
So when this episode was like aired on Cartoon Network and Boomerang, it removes the bit where Fred and Velma enter the dining room. It just begins with the vampire bat flying down at them.
I have no idea what Turner print means. Google was not helpful.
Okay. I'm going to assume it is some animation thing or film thing of some kind.
Probably. Maybe it's just that version that airs on Cartoon Network and Boomerang.
That's fair. That could. Scooby-Doo uses 2 disguises. He's a night statue and a werewolf. Yeah, we had the 2 traps, the chandelier and the tapestry. Even though they trapped him, but then they didn't do anything. And I guess the ending doesn't even count as a trap because it's just kind of like he tripped and then the cops were there.
Yep. They say that there's no Scooby Snacks bribe in this episode. Technically, there's not, because it's not because Velma wants him to do something. Velma loses her classes.
Yep, and then Daphne is kidnapped. Oh, okay. So this is saying that Dracula's the one who locked her in the dungeon. Which,
I thought it was Frankenstein.
It makes sense because in the scene, it is Dracula who's like the weird guy who's going after them while she's talking.
Yeah.
But you would think based on earlier. And they say zoinks once. They do not say rut-row or I don't know.
This episode is an ode to the 3 famous Universal movie monsters of the 30s and 40s: Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman.
As we Shaggy's called Scooby. Igor! Hey yo! I assume that's at least because that is not a book, and that's what I have in my knowledge.
It is a movie thing for sure.
I read the book, I did not watch the movies.
And they even got my reference where Scooby wrapping the rope around the vampire and pulling him down to the vent is a nod to the same way that's used in, quote, one of the Star Wars movies, but apparently they don't know which one. So love that for them.
But also this came up before Star Wars, so it's not even a nod to Star Wars.
No, it's not. So... George Lucas stole something else from another place.
Yeah.
Like 8 years before that. So, all right. Okay, so that's kind of the end of that. So let's see.
I mean, this is adapted a few times in things. There's like a comics version where this is so much better though. Grimstone Castle instead of Franken Castle.
I agree with that.
Instead of Big Bob Oakley, he's Artie the actor.
That's worse.
That is worse. His alias is Carl the Con Man.
That's not better.
No, it's not.
Why did they nerf him? Why did they nerf Big Bob?
Wait, what is this thing? It's a they're going to Count Dracula's castle. There's a fortune teller who tells Scooby he's a descendant of Count Dracula. God damn.
Or maybe it's like a Loki Sleipnir situation where it's Dracula as a dog impregnated another dog.
Don't tell me these things. Don't tell me these things. They also do in fact make reference to Incorporated because it's in Fred's trap scrapbook.
I love that for Fred.
Would that not be his trap book?
Listen, Fred's not the brains of the operation. That's Velma's job.
No, he is not. He is not the brains. Alrighty. Sorry, let's move on to our other bits now.
Yep. So whose side are we on?
Well, I have no reason to care about this weird theater major who's just like in a castle trying to get some treasure. Yeah. And also doing a cultural appropriation a little bit there, so...
Yeah, cultural appropriation is a no from me. So we're just gonna say we're on the gang side for this one just by process of elimination.
I almost feel like I'm on neither of their side just for the fact that, like, guys, why are you going into this haunted castle?
I told you, it's because they all got a high at the same time.
You're right. I'm only barely on their side. Like, I want to be on no one's side, but if I have
like I said, it's only by process of elimination.
Was this a good mystery?
Not really. We didn't hear about Big Bob before he was revealed at the end. Like, there was no reason for us to suspect that that's who this could be.
I mean, we didn't know about Big Bob, but we did know about the fortune teller, at least.
We did.
So, like, there's that intrigue. Least. But also, it's like, once again, it's the only person we met in the episode.
Yeah.
Before we met the sheriff, so...
This is true.
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of these episodes where it's like, it's not a good mystery, but that's because it's not meant to be a mystery.
I guess not.
At least not yet. Scooby-Doo Media wasn't exactly a mystery that you could solve on your own. It was more just like, hey, this is a funky little thing. What's going on here? Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But eventually we're gonna get some good shit. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep, eventually. All right. I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yeah, Charlie's gotta go die.
That's fair.
I haven't stopped coughing this entire episode. I'm so sorry.
Well, whoever's editing this, it's gonna be...
I think it's you.
It's me. Great.
I'm sorry.
It's alright, bud. It's alright.
Charlie, go die now.
Okay.
We gonna split up and look for some clues for our next mystery.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know why I'm saying.
I was mashing the energy, that's all.
Hey.
In it to win it.
You're just dancing along, so I gotta keep going. Like,
you're just creating bloopers at this point.
That's what I do.
This is true. This is very true.
It's my job, is to get us off track so we can have funny things.
Obviously.
At the end.
Yes. All right.
And also die.
Yeah. Well, get your dying out of the way before we start.
I don't think I can get it out of the way.
Fair. You just be continually dying.
Clarissa.
We love that.
Are you supposed to drink it? No.
No, you're not.
It feels like I basically do.
Well, I mean, you spray enough of it in your mouth, it's gonna feel that way. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.